Hey everyone, welcome to Kinda Creepy. I'm Jason Emmett.
And I'm Twisted Kid Matt. And
And
that
I'm
guy
gonna
over
be
there
honest.
is Scully Scullington III.
I'm gonna be honest, man. You've put a couple episodes up because we had some stuff kind of in storage or whatever, but we haven't recorded together in like a month
Yeah.
because there's been so much going on. In my world, primarily that it just we just weren't able to. But we should be back on a regular track. But I don't think people out there have missed much. I think we've have we missed any weeks at all?
A couple. Yeah. A little
Maybe
bit.
one.
A little bit here and there.
Well,
One or
in
two.
all fairness, one of them we missed. We actually did record an episode. There is a video that is going to be infamous around here because every time we try to record an episode with that video, and it's not even horror, my friends.
Yeah.
It's actually very humorous. Every time we've tried, something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Either it's effed up or it just gets deleted. We don't. It's just crazy. So
Are we talking
maybe
about
one day.
the turkey video?
Turkeys.
Yeah, the
Maybe
turkey
one day.
video. Unfortunately, the one video my mom sends in as a viewer. So mom, if you watch this was not as like a disrespectful thing. It just genuinely
Oh, it's kind of
technology
creepy.
has decided the world doesn't need to hear our opinions on it, I
Oh no,
guess.
we love the video.
The video was
That's the best
great.
part.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
we have a blast with it, but every time we've tried.
Yeah.
Also, Matt's mom, to let you know, that's the other thing. We've actually tried to and put your video in this multiple times, and it
Yeah,
just
we filmed it twice, and both
so.
times it got screwed up. So
Yeah, once with just you and I, and once where KC was with us,
yep,
and both times that one just got deleted. We don't know what happened to it. Right,
yeah,
that's the one that just sort of vanished off your
yep.
hard drive. You don't know where it went. So. But we got a few videos for you this week. I brought, and I don't think any of them. Well, I don't. Yours might be a little longer,
That was a little
but
longer. Actually, I cut it down. It's only just a couple minutes, but yeah, it's not
mine's
like my
very
eight and a
short.
half minute opus from the last video.
Well, I have a really long, well, 5 or 6 minute long one but we're waiting for an episode where Casey can kind of sit in with us because you and I have seen it and we want to discuss it with him and get his
Yeah,
thoughts because it's a really fun one. But I actually brought a cryptid one this week.
yeah.
I'm the bringer of the Bigfoot this week, not
The
not
bringer of
Matt.
the Bigfoot.
So I brought a Bigfoot video this week, and then probably becoming one of the coolest fans of the show, Anthony. He sent in like a asked, but kind of sent it to me on Facebook and asked my opinion, and kind of gave his. And so this is what I think. What do you think? And I actually agree completely, but
Okay.
we'll get Matt's thoughts on it, and then we have Matt's video. So I guess we'll go ahead and kick off mine. It's like a minute long. It's not very long. Mine takes place. This is in Winnipeg. This is in Canada, and I'm going to try to say the name of this road. I think it says it on the video, but it's Pegas Road. I think if I'm saying that, Pegas Road. I don't know. But this they have this timestamp that happened back in 2007. So this is an older video, and we'll watch it, and then I'll kind of tell you my thoughts, and then I'm tell you that there was another video that I actually thought I added, and apparently I didn't. But let's go ahead and watch this one. So
It just
this
like
is
flash the date and location up there too. So
this is a
we'll let
road,
this loop.
and it goes through it a couple times.
Okay.
Don't worry. And I think there's some slow mo and stuff. So again, this is in Winnipeg. They said from what I gather, they claim they saw it crossing the road.
Oh, they're straight up driving when they've got
Yeah,
this.
they saw it crossing the
Okay.
road, stopped, pulled out their camera, and started filming. So for them, it originally crossed the road. That's why
Okay.
you don't see any of this. So that to me, that answers a big question: like, why were they filming?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't. They
Fair.
saw it
Yeah.
cross the road, which adds a lot of credence
Yeah.
to this, in my opinion.
So why did the Bigfoot cross the road? I okay.
Get some
Comment
to get
below the
Timmy Hortons.
punchline to that joke if you can think of
Timmy
one.
Hortons, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry to all my Canadian friends. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out again, there wasn't just random filming. As you see, there's a road. They said it crossed the road. They stopped. They started filming, waiting for it to come out. It did. The first thing I want to point out is this is a very traditional Bigfoot stride, right? That we see the arms doing what the arms typically would do, how we have seen Bigfoot walk in the past.
Yeah.
That's again, that adds a lot of credence. This thing looks massive.
Yes, it does.
The head, if you watch, kind of has the cone shape,
Yeah. I'm gonna
which
pause
is what
it.
we kind of look for.
There we go. Yeah.
and you will see that the arm stride and everything, like always. They film it to as far into the woods as they can, which those are pretty dense,
But
thick woods.
surprisingly, you can see it for a while in the woods. Like even when it starts
Yeah,
like going
yeah, yeah.
into the woods, you can see it. And I have to say this, those look like birch trees. It's my favorite type of tree. If anybody wants to know, I do actually have a favorite type of tree. Um, that the contrast of it against the
Yeah.
tree specifically, because those are most likely
And
silver
the white
birches, which are very white
and the
trees.
white backdrop.
Yeah, it stands
It's a
out.
very stark, yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, this to me is important too.
And it's understandably shaky because they are driving.
But that's well, they're not driving now. I think they stop.
Okay.
I think that's
Zoomed
important. I'm pretty sure
way
they
in.
stop. Um,
And
but it adds to the Patterson Gimlin thing. If you remember how that gets kind of shaky,
yeah.
like to me. So we did that video a couple weeks back where we think it's complete BS
Yeah.
because it's too staged and they know the path this thing's going and the camera smoothly follows. To me, this is one of those where you're kind of guessing this is where it's going to go.
Yep. That's
They're
what I
going to
was about
try
to
to
say.
adjust to find it.
They saw
You
it going
know,
across the road. They're like, it's probably going to pop up right around there. So let's hope.
see,
Hope it does, and then sure enough it
slight
does.
hunch in the back, the sway in the
Yeah.
arms, the way it kind of leans forward, and it's if somebody's faking it, they are getting the stride down well in that costume. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. So I was telling you that there was another video. I actually watched the other video. Very close time frame. I think a month or two off. Again, I believe not far away from this. A guy on a boat, working on a boat. Like I don't know if it was like what kind of what he was doing, but he over on the shoreline. This was also in Canada, not very far from this one. Sees something, starts filming. And the two have been compared a lot because they were in a very similar time frame. That one's to me is so far off that it could like I'm like that could be a person. Like literally that one's hard to tell. But the two have been getting brought up a lot because they were in a very similar time frame,
Yeah.
very close ish together. But this one to me feels and looks really legit. If anybody has any info, because this has been out since 2007. So again, we know this is an AI.
Yeah.
Um, this is definitely if it's faked, it's a person walking in a costume, and but I don't think it is. I just don't think it is. There's no clear path. They're guessing, as you see. There's shaky camera. There's explanation for what happens.
Yeah.
Again, why would you just be filming? Well, they weren't.
Yeah.
Again, they saw it cross the road. That's when they pulled out and the camera and start filming. So this one feels pretty legit to me. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I agree. I mean, and like I said, they kind of tried to predict where it was going to walk and got lucky that it actually did walk that way.
which
Because
is
it
what
looks
all.
like it's at the top of a hill. It could have very easily turned and gone down the hill and they just never see it again.
Yeah.
And in which case this video wouldn't even exist because they didn't catch
right
anything.
there. If they are faking it, they're being very smart. Look at the arm stride and
Yep.
that way it strides forward.
Yep.
I also see like the chest coming out a little. Good again, it could indicate like a female maybe.
Yeah.
I also have noticed that. I want to briefly hit on that. I don't know if people have noticed, but a lot of the videos we see seem to be guessed at female Bigfoot. And I wonder why that is. Do you think maybe they maybe forage more or go out looking for food? Like I wonder
Could
why that
be.
is.
Yeah. Could
Yeah.
be like
Just
a lioness situation where, the male lion just kind of hangs back. In this case, a male Bigfoot
possibly or
hangs
does
back.
something.
Yeah.
We
He's over there
did a
knocking on
series
trees and distracting people over there so that the
early
females can
early
go
on.
off and find like
Early
berries.
on, and I'm gonna put this on Matt to tag it up here somewhere in the video, so
Okay.
if people want to go like maybe click on it. Early on, Matt and I did a maybe 10-minute mini episode where the 4th of July Bigfoot,
Hmm.
which is a Bigfoot that comes out, and it's almost too good. But that's we try not to bash on that. Literally grabs a baby, and we really go into the fact that if this is a puppet, they're doing really good
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Um, so kind of watch that one if Matt remembers to
Yeah.
tag it somewhere up in here, and
Yeah.
then you guys can.
I'll put it on. I always point the wrong way. I'll put it right up on screen right here
Cool.
for this. So
And guys,
I'm
like I
just gonna
said,
relay
we
that.
welcome your thoughts on this. If you know something about this, I do not. Please let us know. Like the fact that Bob Gimlin is alive
Yep. Still, currently,
as of this video, still
as of this
alive.
video.
Sorry. So yeah, that was mine this week. I thought it was a pretty fun one. I thought Matt would appreciate it. He's
Yeah,
always like,
I like that. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that clip before, but it is pretty convincing because pretty much like everything we were saying, you know, it's they weren't originally filming. They kind of just seemingly just guessed where it was going to be and got lucky that it showed up.
well, again,
You
I
know,
think any
past
of
a little
us
bit
would
of a
try to
hill.
follow the track we think
Yeah,
it's taking. You know,
yeah,
that's where you assume it's going to kind of
yeah.
pop up next. I'd say we've all done that. How many of us have been looking at something through our camera of our phone and we kind of moved away and then we're trying to
Like,
find it
wait,
again. We're
where did it
trying to get
go?
the
Yeah,
path.
especially
Yeah,
after you zoom in on something. Like, it'd be
yeah.
cool, and this may actually be a feature of newer phones. If it is, somebody let me know down in the comments. I want to know
The
how to do
track
it.
or
If you
something.
can like tap your screen, it locks on something, and you hit zoom,
I'm sure
and
there
it'll
are.
just keep it on frame as best as
That would be
possible.
great.
That'd be
Yeah,
really
especially
handy.
for cryptid stuff and
That'd
stuff
be
like
awesome.
that.
Yeah, somebody, camera
Um,
people, comment below. Can you do that?
I I don't think people are as into it these days. But we'll be doing. There's been a lot of UFO activity recently, so we'll do a UFO thing soon. People don't seem to be as into it. Maybe because there's been so much activity, and people are like, "Yeah, we know aliens; they're real."
Yeah,
They're-
and I think like once the government stops lying to you about something and starts just going, yeah, here's everything we've been telling you
yeah,
wasn't
we
happening.
didn't actually freak out.
Yeah,
Nobody's
we're just
losing
like,
their mind.
oh, cool. You know,
We're like, I'm just worried about the cost of my toys going up right now. I do another show on
yeah,
toys.
yeah. The
We're just more worried about
the
that.
toy tariffs are gonna like deeply
Yeah,
affect
I'm more
everything.
worried about the cost of my toys costing more, man. I don't care about UFOs right now.
Yeah.
Don't charge me more for my action figures because I'm a nerd. So we talk about Anthony a lot, and that's because Anthony interacts a lot, and he sends us videos and likes our videos. You guys can do that too. We would love to have other people send in videos that we can discuss here on the show. Just know you can do that. We are. I don't know, what's probably the easiest way would either be through our Instagram or through our Gmail.
Email at
KindaCreepyShow@gmail.com.
kindacreepyshow@gmail.com.
Or our Instagram.
Yeah.
You could send us videos or our Facebook. Any of those is a way you can send us video
Yeah.
clips, and we will play them on the show and talk about them. And that's what we're going to do right now.
Yeah.
So Anthony sends me a video, actually through Facebook, as it were, and says, "What do you think is going on here?" And I'm going to let you play it before I tell you what Anthony told me,
Okay.
and I actually agree. But let's go ahead and play the video. You guys maybe have seen this, maybe not.
Okay. And just we'll go ahead and tell you right now. We turned the volume down on it because it was deafening.
We did not add this
Yeah,
music.
we did not add the music, but you'll recognize it if you've ever been
It's
on
very
TikTok.
standard. Yeah, it's on a lot of. Okay, let's play it again. Watch the dog.
Okay.
Obviously, comes in
Yeah,
from the
it's gonna loop here,
right side, and then
and then
comes
just shows
out.
up behind her. Yeah.
Totally different place. All right.
Okay. So yeah, you see it hopping behind her, disappears behind the tree, and then reappears about 5 feet
So
over.
the first thing I'm going to do is ask Matt, what do you think happens here?
I think
I
it.
see it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think that the dog is running behind her, and then kind of goes behind the little bush or whatever that is behind her, and then comes more at a straight. Like it changes angles.
because it's a shadow.
Yeah.
So to me, if you pay attention to the white looking maybe wall or something back there,
Yeah,
you
whatever
see
that
something
is.
move across
Yeah.
it. Watch. And whoop, there it goes. So Anthony thinks the dog just goes in. Like, do you think the dog just went into the shadows and just kind of comes out? And I said yes.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what I think happens here. I don't think there's anything mystic. It looks weird, but I think it's explainable. Some people I've seen some people out there were like, is there a second dog? Maybe I don't think so. I think the dog just hooks around, like Matt said, kind of hooks.
Yeah.
Like
it's
so
kind of doing a
just
weird
changes
little
trajectory.
yeah.
And I think it's because watch the little girl. She actually changes path a little bit.
Yeah.
See, and then she starts to go one way and kind of turns at the end. And I think it's a dog, man. They just
Dogs are weird. I mean, they're not as weird as cats, but they do weird things. But yeah, I think that it's the easiest explanation is probably the most likely, is that you don't see it for a second because it was behind something else.
A little. I actually think it's partially blocked. I think you do see a little bit of its tail, and the rest of it is blocked by the girl. It's caught up with the girl. So the girl,
Yeah.
it's hidden behind right there. I think. See, the more I watch this, it's kind of like the skunk video.
Yeah.
The more I'm like, oh, it's pretty obvious.
Which, side note, I was telling Jay off air that I watched a different video where somebody watched that same video and had the same reaction that we had, was like, it's a goblin, it's a goblin. But live, while they were filming it, they read the comments and realized it was a skunk as well.
When Mrs. Twisted Kid Connie said it was a skunk, and you like, sent me that, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's was it last week's video or the week before?
I think it might have been the week before. Yeah, it's been like two episodes back.
I had played a week or two before that, which is looks like a goblin running across the security camera. We even talk about the guy running. Turns out it's a skunk, and it's clearly a skunk. So anyway, thank you again for sending this in. We really appreciate it. And you guys, anybody else out there has a clip you want us to talk about, or a clip you're like, this seems like this to me. We love if you have an opinion on it, and especially if you kind of want to say, like, I know what this is. Like the skunk one, when we debunked that, I was all happy to talk about it. Like, it was weird. We didn't know what was going on, and we were like, man, I don't know, man, what this thing could possibly be. And then we're like, that's a freaking skunk.
5 seconds of a girl who lived on a farm for a while, looking at it and going, that's a skunk. Why are you guys watching a skunk video?
It's like a stereogram, man. Once you see it, you can't freaking unsee it. It's all I see now is the damn skunk. So, Matt, what you got for us?
So I have one that kind of has, we'll say, taken off. Like, it's been featured on much larger YouTube videos than this, but I wanted to talk about it as soon as I saw it on there, and I did a deep dive off air, and I've developed a bit of a theory on what's going on, but we're going to go ahead and play it. Let me look up the name
what this
of this
is,
person.
But I've never seen it put together the way apparently Matt put it together.
Yeah.
He put it together chronologically, and a lot of, I'd seen this on a couple other shows and clips anyway. He might have more than I've seen on this, but I'm interested to see how you put it together.
Yeah, I just I took each of the clips, including one that got the audio taken down, and I found one where it was restored, so you can hear all of it. And during the edit of this, I'm going to try to boost some of the audio. I'm going to say that to remind myself to do that. But you can hear a little bit of like what's being said in the background. I will say that some of this borders on true crime as well as paranormal. So we'll go with that, and we'll play the clip and you'll see. So the name of the person that this video is about, it's a woman named Jeanette. She goes by Miss CP Gravy, but the V is a 4, I'm guessing. But yeah, this is kind of chronologically showing her moving into her new apartment and some of the weird stuff that's happened.
What? I saw a man in your bedroom. You saw a man in my bedroom? Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is all the first clip. This is actually 3 clips that I put together.
In the bed, against the wall like this. No. Oh my god. Tell me how I saw someone.
And this is the one that went super viral. Understandably.
And this one's a little bit of both supernatural and
true crime.
Who are you? Can I help you?
Now, someone has broken into her apartment.
No, I don't.
And she's making her way towards her phone.
I don't remember. Please get out. Please get out of my apartment. Please go of my
She
apartment.
runs towards the door. The door opens by itself. Now, I do a bit of a breakdown of all of this, and I'll go through that as well.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
So the
And I
first thing
highlight something that happens in this video as well.
I want to bring up and is that I've seen these on. I'm just going to be honest, a couple of different shows, but
Yeah.
they were not played in this order. They were played the break into the apartment first.
Yep.
This one's always second.
Yep.
And the one with her friend is always third. And every time I've seen it.
Yep. And the one with her friend is actually first.
In order from what she posted.
Yeah.
On her actual site.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And if you go through her, these are all on TikTok. If you go through her TikTok page, from what I understand, the last video on the, the reel, I guess you would call it, is always the first video that was posted. So the earlier the video is, the further it is down on the page. Your most recent one is always going to be the first. So she's heard something moving around in her apartment. Now watch where I've circled. The bed dents in, as if something sat there or something's pushing down on the bed. And she notices it while she's hearing stuff in her apartment. And they're still there, but I circled it again to show that they actually raised back up. Like whatever was there is now standing back up. So it's looping back through here.
All right. So the first thing I'll say is the imprint on the bed thing is that would be because you watch it form.
Mm-hmm.
Would be a difficult thing for most of us regular folk at home to fake. Like it's not undoable, but it would take a little effort to fake that.
Yeah. Go ahead and pause that so we can.
Okay, I want to put it this way. So I told you I've seen this, but every time I've seen it, we've been completely the different order, which to me changes the narrative of the video.
It changes it a lot. Yeah.
And
there's honestly no disrespect to the other channels. Maybe that's the order they were sent in. Which
if that's the way I saw it previously.
When I discuss my theory on this, will probably make a little bit more sense. So
the way it had always played out in the other videos is this right here. This one that we're about to watch was her seeing more of a ghost and not an actual person, because it was played after we saw the ghost. And this part, 30 minutes after hiding in the kitchen, was never on the ones I saw before. So they always made it look like they go to the bedroom to look at what she had seen, not that they stood in the kitchen for 30 minutes and hid, which could mean somebody was in the apartment and out, which could mean it was this person right here, and she didn't know the first time because she never actually saw it.
Could be, yeah.
And this person came in a second time home alone.
Yeah. So
I'm
the
just
context. Yeah, the context of this clip was she's moved into her house and
a new apartment,
a new apartment, and she's filming herself doing some dances, whatever, and turns around and there is a man standing in her apartment who was not there before.
I want to point something out
ahead.
Now that I'm looking at. If I don't know my opinion as to whether I think these are legit or fake, but I will say if she's faking, she's smart, because look in the background. The boxes are there. The boxes that we see her unpacking are still in the background. Yeah, so I think that just seems important to me.
Yeah.
So if she's faking it, she knew to stage it well.
Yep.
Is all I'm saying. But.
And I can, I'll see about looking up like dates and stuff of like when she posted each one of these, and just kind of put that, along with the corresponding clip, if I remember to do that. But
one thing, if she'd have done it, it would have really helped. If there would have been anything, I mean, obviously she would have called the cops.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There are updates. There was one that she posted where it's all just text that she talks about. She called the cops. The cops showed up. They couldn't find the guy, which leads to further questions that I have regarding that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play on this again and let it kind of continue through.
Hey, I want everybody to pay close attention to the door.
Yes.
She goes to run out, because you'll miss it if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it the first time I saw the video.
Yeah, and there is stuff about the door that I've gotten a breakdown. So we'll play that here in a little bit too. So understandably, she's backing away She's grabbing her phone so she can film and also call. Door opens on its own. There's a second door. This is key as well. Now a third door. Okay. Now this is her playing with one of her mini cats. She apparently has at least a couple of them. They've appeared in a few other videos. You only see one of them in this one.
Explain noises in the background.
Some of it, yes. Yeah.
Like that. If she has another cat, I would instantly. She acts scared to me. I'm thinking I have 2 cats in my house.
Yeah.
I instantly think it's one.
However, this being after somebody has broken into her house.
You are right. I would be a little hesitant.
Like, all right, what the hell was that? But one main problem I have with all of this, why are your doors unlocked? That's my main thing.
How do you know her front door's unlocked?
How did the dude get in there in the first place?
Well, then it might have been.
Yeah.
But if she hadn't experienced somebody walk in prior, that's what I said. Okay, yeah. Matt, you're over at my house, right? Yeah. And you say to me, dude, I swear to God, I just saw somebody in the other room. And I go and I'm like, don't see it, you know. I'm not trying to say, like, it's just one of those things where, okay, Matt thought he saw somebody, but apparently there's nobody in here.
Yeah.
So I might not take it that serious until I see it.
True.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of understandable.
For her,
and also her grabbing the pepper spray. Very understandable.
Very understandable.
And there is a noise that happens in the video, and she understandably clarified, this is me grabbing my pepper spray. That was her taking the lid off the pepper spray, I assume. So...
Okay, right. So I want your thoughts, and then I'll give you a couple. Well, let me give you, because
do you want to go into the breakdown?
That last little thing,
mm-hmm.
I have only one issue with that. And again, I don't know how I would react. I would react different than her. I wouldn't be as scared for certain reasons. I would be, but just different people react different. But
yeah,
when she sees it like move, stand up from the bed, get up from the bed, that's where the video cuts. That's weird to me, and that seems like that'd be where she ran out the room, and she doesn't. There's like hesitation, and then the video cuts. Like, why didn't we get more beyond that? I always have that question.
Yeah, why did you stop filming there?
Or
why did you cut the video there?
Why didn't you tell us nothing? You know, I ran out of the room. Nothing else happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
everybody. Like I said, there are. Let me see if I can pull it up, and
that's just my question. I'm going to be honest with you. This video always seemed very legit to me, and it still kind of does.
I'll go back to this. So I'll read. This is a little bit of her update.
Because running out that door, we've talked about this. If somebody doesn't point out that door opens before she runs out, most people miss it. So that would be a really subtle video for you to have done.
Yep.
You know, and so so to me it seemed very legit. But go ahead, let's hear you. Matt's got a breakdown for us here. We're gonna.
This is her update that she posted after the video of the guy standing in her apartment, where you actually physically see a human person standing in the video. Right. Okay, so I want to clarify that is not something she's ever claimed as paranormal. It is claimed that there is somebody who has broken into her apartment and is standing there in her living room with her. Which
I also want to say in the video, Matt just showed, and the other 2 versions of this I've seen, and none of those did she point out that door opened. It's almost like she didn't even realize the door opened.
And that's where I have that in part of the breakdown. So
okay,
all right. So this is her text update that she posted. Looks like this was on March 23rd. So actually, here let's do this first. I'm gonna see. Chronologically, the one where she's unpacking is March 18th of this year, right? So then the initial video that got taken down March 22nd. So a few days later, she's, the guy breaks into her place. So 18th, the 22nd, and then the one where she's kind of nuzzling her cat is the 25th. That's the one that ends up with something sitting on her bed. So within like a week, all of this has happened. And there's part of the breakdown. We'll go into that as well. But yeah, people at that point have started, asking questions, and she starts replying to the comments. But this was the update before the apparition, whatever, sits down on her bed. So she says, hey, just wanted to come on here real quick and give an update. I'm okay. The police already came by and checked out the apartment. And from what they saw, everything looks all right. I've also reached out to some friends and family, and they've been super supportive, which means a lot right now. My God, like, this was honestly one of the scariest things I've ever been through. I've lived in apartments before, plenty of them, and nothing like this has ever happened to me. It's just one of those things that you don't think will happen to you until it does. I'm still trying to process everything. I actually wrote all this down first because I couldn't even think straight. My mind's just been racing, and it's hard to even explain how I feel. There's fear, confusion, frustration, just everything at once. And unpause the video so I can get more. I'm not trying to trash apartment living or anything, but after this, I really don't want to be in another apartment ever again. Like, I physically don't want to walk into one, and especially not this one. I don't feel safe here anymore, even if everything looks quote unquote fine. And the worst part is I just moved in. I just paid the deposit, settled in, started unpacking, and now I don't even want to stay here another night. But I also don't want to go through the whole process of finding a new place all over again. It's exhausting. Okay. I think that's the whole update, but we're going to keep looking because it kind of scrolls. Okay. I'm not really sure why I'm sharing this. Maybe someone out there needs to hear it, or maybe it's just for me to vent. If I post this, cool. If not, that's fine too. But yeah, I just needed to get this out. Okay. So that was on the 23rd. And like I said, this is the day after somebody broke into the apartment is when she says that. So I've got her TikTok page pulled up on one screen over here, and we're just kind of going through some of the stuff. So now I'm going to go into a bit of the breakdown where she kind of goes into a little bit more of like what took place and starts asking or answering some questions. So, okay, pause here. It's not loading up.
Okay, update. I am fine. I'm alive. And I'm back here in my apartment. I do have someone with me this time. Say hi. Hi. Okay, so yeah, obviously terrifying experience, but a lot of you were asking about the door, and so I kind of wanted to, like, I guess, address it. I don't know. I'm just as confused as you guys are. I have no fucking idea what happened. The best I can explain it is like divine intervention, or like just like some sign. I don't know. That sounds stupid, but but like that's really the only way I can explain it. You can see there's like some tape on here. The landlord just kind of like lazily kept it on there for, I don't know, like a paint job, and I have been meaning to take it off.
I'm going to go ahead and pause here because I wanted to comment on the door with the tape on it. So, like, layout wise, it looks like it's the front door. It's not the front door. It's actually, it's a strange layout to an apartment, to be honest.
Yeah, because he came in a different door.
He had to have come in a different door.
There was a door behind where if you see where he's standing, there's a door directly behind him, and she runs to the left.
Yeah, but so she runs out to this. This is the door she runs out.
I assume the door that behind him was the actual front door. And so it looks like she might have. Now you already know the answer to this.
Yeah, it's actually not the front door. So I'm thinking the door he was standing in front of was just a closet or something, which is scary. Like how the hell? Like where was this guy at? Like that. That's one of the questions.
It was just a weird old building, and she actually had two ways to get into the apartment.
I mean, that's entirely possible. That would take a little bit more digging, but the kind of surface level digging that I did, this is not a front door. This is kind of like a secondary door from another entrance.
That's what I was assuming, because she goes like into a hall.
The hall door, and then there's another door outside of that. So there's like, and we'll just keep playing it. But she kind of opens it up. But one of the things that you notice, like she's pointing out, all the tape on the door, that is odd. But it not only is holding the door shut, but it's also keeping it from being locked fully. You know, which is exactly the same thing. But the part of the door, I can't ever think what it's called, but the part of the door that actually like latches it, I guess probably the latch is what it's called. It's taped over. So that door is being held to a point where it won't fully latch. So
What I want
that
to
would
point out
make it
is,
easy to get in, but that's not her front door that would need to be locked anyway.
he didn't come in this door. He couldn't have, because this is to the left of her, and this is where
She
she
would have
runs.
seen it. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't see him cross over there. He comes right straight towards her. That's why I said it feels like the door behind him I thought was
Yeah.
an entrance to her place, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
I just know he couldn't have come into this door.
Yeah.
So this door being locked or unlocked is irrelevant.
Yeah. And it
He
couldn't
could
have been
never come
anyway
in
with that
without
tape
us
on
seeing it. I for instantly thought it looked like painter's tape when I saw it. I assume it's painter's tape. But
It's
I
got to
don't
be
know.
painter's
It's
tape. Yeah.
not put on there very well. But
Yeah.
whatever.
So I'm going to keep playing this, and there's
Landlord
another
be
clip
landlord.
after this one where it shows a little bit more of the layout of the apartment.
Okay.
Which is another point of contention people have in the comments on this is, as a single woman living by yourself, why are you filming every aspect of your apartment and giving the layout?
Might not be thinking about. People don't
And
always
understandable,
think about
she's
that.
not thinking
We
about
live
that.
in a world
Yeah.
where social media and posting TikTok videos and all that is so common that people don't think about those things. And I'm not bashing on her for that. It is just a
I'm not
thing.
either. That, for the record, I'm not bashing on her on this, but it
People,
is something that
we are,
if you're not thinking of it, it'll make you take a step back and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
Because we live in a society now where people are so used to posting videos that sometimes we forget that maybe this isn't the proper thing I should post. So
yeah. And there is somebody in the comments who literally says, I think I know what apartment building you live in, and says the address of the apartment building.
I've 100.
Like, what is wrong with you people?
She should take that down.
Yeah, somebody was in the comments saying maybe you should have like DM'd this to her, but also why are you being like that creepy about it?
Yeah.
So, which again, they may not have realized how creepy they were being. So,
but dude, I've watched videos, and I'm like, I know exactly where that's at. Like, it happens. It happens. So.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep playing this real quick, but yeah, it shows a little bit more of the layout.
Take it off just so I can show you this, because this door is not the easiest.
And also pay attention to how she opens this door.
Divine thing, or like, I don't know, a ghost, or I don't.
Yeah, it looked like a heavy door. It's on shocks, I think. Like, it shuts automatically. Well, maybe not this one.
It's not easy. So it's not like just like the wind pushed it or anything.
See, there's a second door, which
and
looks
I knew
like
that door had a shock on it. That's why I thought this one did.
Open the door, and
I thought that was opening out to the hallway. I thought that was opening out to the hallway, but it's like, yeah, it's a little pre-door into her apartment.
And then the second door goes out into the hallway of her building.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to whatever opened this door, because if this didn't
turn that down a bit, it's kind of.
I don't know, some things probably would have happened. So I am very grateful. Thank you to whatever.
She feels very legit in the way she's talking. This doesn't feel scripted. It's very natural.
Yeah, just wanted to show that to you.
And that's what you were saying, Matt. The lock and everything is covered there.
So now here's another video where she opens to the hallway. And again, the address on the door, people were pointing out like, yeah, we know basically like where you're at.
Okay.
All right. So I literally included that one just to show that there is the next one that goes out to the actual hallway with other apartments in the area.
Confused. That is where he was standing. He like that little opening. So now I feel like
here,
I'm a little lost here.
Let me go back.
I'm just trying to the layout in my head, like where he is standing. Can we get to the point where with him?
Let me see if I can fast forward.
Pause it. And then she goes around the other way. It makes way more sense to me now. So okay, I got it. I got it. I figured it out. Okay.
No, I mean honestly, layout wise, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
So that is the front door. That is the entry into her apartment. That whole area. He came in it. He came through the second door. He starts walking down the couch line to where, because she's over there. Can we go back?
Yeah, he's approaching her as what's happening.
Go back to the very beginning of this. I want to see one more thing. And I'm betting now that I know. Sorry, guys, we are overanalyzing this video. Just go back to the beginning of this clip altogether of him coming in the apartment, and then she goes out to the second hallway. Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Please get in. Please get out of
really
my
helps.
apartment. Please go.
Now I know why she moved away,
Yep.
and then she runs to. Okay, makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it. I was trying to figure out the logistics of it. It actually helps me. It makes it feel a little more real to me once again.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense why she's like. Okay, so I'm in an apartment. I got a door to my left. A person comes in straight in front of me. I just book for it, but she can't do that.
Yeah.
She has to wait till he gets somewhere where she has some distance between.
And
them
unfortunately, she has to let him get closer to her at the time too,
and she's keeping the couch in between them as her only barrier. It feels very legit to me, but that's
and probably one of the smartest things that she did was go towards her phone, because is he going to turn and go back the way he already came? Like he's like, all right, I'm just going to keep following you this way. But that kind of drew him further away from the door, which actually gave her more of the opportunity to get out, which is good. That's a good thing. That, he didn't go, oh, okay, well, you're going towards the door. Well, so am I.
The questions here are like, you never hear him pursue her. Like,
yep.
So in other words, like, is this just a weird homeless dude off the street who wanders into her apartment? So he's not really looking to hurt. He just sometimes maybe he's high.
So some of the things he says, I'm your friend, remember?
Yeah.
She goes, no, I don't remember you. So there are questions. And here's where I'm going to have a bit of a hot take on this entire situation.
Okay.
Now, I think genuinely he broke into her apartment. I think that is a genuine thing that happened. And seeing them all in chronological order, what I don't think is happening is the ghost aspect of it. Now, it is a little weird that the door opened on its own.
The door opening, maybe. Yeah. I have a thought.
Okay.
I have a thought.
Go for it.
How do we know that he completely closed that door?
True.
So any gust of wind, if he didn't latch it, because that one's not on a shock thing like the one that goes into the hallway. So if he comes in and just leaves it partially open, but it's cracked, and she starts running and maybe something outside. I lived in an apartment with a friend of mine, and the door, I opened the door to the hallway once to walk someone out, and I came back up, and when they opened the outside door, it shut the damn door, and I was locked out of the apartment.
Air pressure kind of stuff.
So all I'm saying is anything could have blown the door open, which would explain the door. Yeah. It was still a cool shot of luck, but it is explainable. There's just the one other thing. So I'm curious what your explanation for that one is.
So after doing a little bit of digging, it turns out she is, and like I said, this could be a little bit controversial. And you know what? I'm more than willing to be corrected on this. But she is an art major. She has a reason to be in New York, going to art school. And there has been some speculation, not just by me, but by other people in the comments, that all of this is a big art project. And that it is a potentially, people refer to it as an ARG, the augmented reality games, where it's just somebody posting a bunch of clips that all connect together. Before this, she was posting videos of like bird watching out in New York. And one of the first videos is that video of her unpacking the boxes. So she has just moved in, but that also means that she most likely just started this TikTok page, like right before that, which then leads to the idea that it is possibly specifically made to make these videos of it being like, oh, check out my apartment. It's haunted. And then coincidentally, somebody broke into her apartment and she happened to catch it on film. So I think the second video is real. I think it is very real. With the weird aspect of the door opening and everything, I think that actually did happen. And I think if there's a way to check police reports, I'm sure there's people who's probably dug deeper than I did.
Your theory is the first video is her friend seeing someone in the apartment, and then you think the second one's a coincidence? You think that her friend says she
True,
saw
true.
someone and then someone happened to break in?
Good point. Good
That
point.
feels weird to me. If
Yeah.
they were in a different order, I would buy that theory. But I'm saying what I'm saying, sorry, is if what you guys are saying correct, and I'm not saying you're anybody's.
Yeah.
Then
And again,
that
this is all just theory.
and that means that the second one was fake as well. The guy coming into her apartment was also fake. Like if like more than likely, if one is fake, then they're all fake.
Very true. Very true.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. And again, I would, please correct me on this. Like, I would love for the original person to come in and comment. But something else I've seen in the comments is she's gone radio silence on most of it. The most recent video that she posted has people like literally in the comments going, where are you? Why are you not commenting on anything? That one was posted on the 23rd of April. So a month ago, like as of recording, a month ago was the last time she posted anything to this TikTok account. And people are, it's been a month since you posted it. You good? If someone's robbing you, oh, sorry, I scrolled on something. I'm assuming this account was made for use as of now. Watch all of her past videos. There's something odd about all the reactions and behavior to all of your very strange happening. Yours, your friends, your cat, the intruder. After watching all of the videos, this does seem like a very good but staged art project. So there's a lot of people coming in questioning it, understandably.
Right.
But then here's what's weird. You'll see some with a couple of replies. You'll click on the reply, and yeah, the video is literally her dancing in her apartment again. It says, "No intruder is going to stop me from enjoying my new humble abode." But yeah, you go in and she will directly respond to some of the comments, but doesn't elaborate at all on anything else. Where people are legitimately saying, like, "Hey, what happened here? Why haven't you posted anything in a month? Like, update us on all of this." Like,
interesting.
So yeah, there's a lot
I'm doing
of
fine. It's like here's some weird random reply that has nothing to do with what you just asked.
Yep. Here we go.
But
one person says, "I'm still wondering how the man got in if your door was on the opposite side of where he was." And then she replied, she replied, "He either picked the lock or I left it unlocked by accident. He was quiet and it didn't help that the music was loud," which is all fair. That's all a fair response. Yeah. But yeah, she comments on that, but not, anything else of like, "Hey, how are you doing? What's been going on this?" And then somebody jokingly 2 days ago said, "Gone too soon, R.I.P. Jeanette." I'm assuming jokingly. That'd be fucked up if that was the truth. But
so here's the things she has the things that lead me to believe you might be correct is that her edit points conveniently leave out beginning stuff and conveniently leave out end stuff. She was filming that whole time. Why do we not see the beginning and hear him first come in? By the time that clip opens up, he's walking down the couch. The other thing I would say that would kind of lead me to believe this, if I was doing an art project or augmented, whatever you guys were talking about,
augmented reality game,
and people were asking me how I was doing, right, and posting these video replies of me dancing, going, "Ain't nothing gonna stop me," and then I do a video of this really scary shit because I made it like I'm okay this whole time and scary shit. And the last video is, something happens and the phone falls over or something weird. She's doing build up to that. So we don't know.
And that's a whole other thing. Like,
I hope she's okay.
People are saying in the comments of just like, this is the beginning. We're getting in on this early, right? Like we're seeing that something is going to be coming later on. That's kind of what people are getting at.
Who knows?
Yeah. So when I first saw it, it was out of order. And then when you put it all in order and watch them in order, if you just go, she doesn't have a ton of videos actually. Let me see.
Let me put it this way. I've seen it twice on 2 other shows, and both times it was almost the exact same thing. And with added text and stuff that was not in these versions that came off her direct TikTok account from Matt. So 21
videos total on this account.
And these are the only 3 that kind of lead into
So the first one is showing her literally like the day she moved in, I assume, and it says like the gang's all here, and it's just her
Well, and
friends
that
that are
was the
helping her move
first thing I
in.
pointed out to you before I think we even started recording this. We talked about it. It's a very weird thing that she just happened to be filming herself unpacking boxes. Who does that? Why would you do that? Nobody cares.
And like literally the third video that she's posted, she talks about being an art major and that there is artwork hanging on the walls when she moves in. And then the fourth video is the one where her friend is there, she's unpacking the box, and you hear her friend scream from the other room. The fourth video. So slight buildup.
It's almost like a movie build up.
Yeah. And then the fifth video is, it says,
Here's my
unpack with
backstory.
me. Yeah. It's like Utah native, moved to New York.
This is a movie plot. You're just not paying it. Like, it's laying out, moved into my new apartment. Like, cool. Yeah. Look at the first day in the new apartment. Look, I'm an art major. Look, here's my backstory.
Yep.
Second day, small incident happens, but I don't see it, but it's there. So it's just enough to make me get creeped out. But do I actually believe it's real? Which is what I said. If somebody else experiences it, doesn't mean I did. Then the next one is a lot bigger buildup.
Yeah, the ninth video out of 21 videos is the one where the guy breaks into her apartment. And then the one right after that with 6.8 million views, by the way, of which were like 12 of them. That's the one where the guy breaks into her apartment. Like and she had gotten the audio got taken down, so she re-uploaded it without the audio, which we have the restored audio in our video here.
I wonder why it happened. Maybe the music, but it's not enough that they should have taken it down. But.
It's strange, but yeah, I think it's the music that she was dancing to got it taken down.
We know how that goes.
So, yeah, we may find out on this one because we have the same audio in it.
Well, so. Maybe we talk over a lot. So I don't know, man. I definitely think we welcome everybody else's thoughts and opinions on this. I really like to hear what people think. And we would love to talk to her, but it doesn't sound like she's...
she doesn't seem to be very responsive.
Definitely not a small show like this one, probably. But if you want to, absolutely, we'll give you a platform.
Yeah,
we love to hear it. We are very minded. So
shoot us an email down here. Like we would love to talk to you. Either if you want to be on the show and talk about it, that's fine. You want to talk about it off air, and we can kind of go over that with our audience. Then great. Yeah. It's up to you. But shoot us an email. We'd love to talk to you.
Everybody, again, we welcome everybody's thoughts and opinions. And if you guys want to send us videos, that's the email to do it. But you can leave a comment down below. Actually, the comments do great. They help the show out a lot too. And let us know what you think about this. And if you've seen it before, which you probably, there's a chance you have if you're into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very creepy video regardless. The whole break-in aspect lends to it a lot. And we've talked about it. Real stuff is way scarier.
Yeah. I mean, the video is terrifying enough as it is, and then the door opens.
The video I brought weeks back where there's no paranormal. It's just the cop going to the apartment.
Oh, God, yeah. And
terrifying.
I came across that video again off of our show, like not rewatching our show, but on a different channel. It popped up again. I was like, oh, God, they're so unsettling, and it didn't have to be. Man. It really didn't have to be unsettling. So
no. With that being said, guys, you can follow us on all the appropriate things down below. It's
and the inappropriate things too.
I'll be honest, the two best are probably going to be like Instagram and Facebook. Interacting with our group over on Facebook and just sending Matt messages on Instagram are probably the easiest ways, to be honest, because we're usually monitoring her on those things. But we welcome everybody's videos. Please understand that Bob Gimlin is in fact alive. We were
as of this recording, we did our research today. He is, as of, unless it has not been reported or it's happened while we've been recording, he is currently still alive. So hashtag Bob Gimlin's alive.
He's and hopefully he lives for many more years. Guys, please like, share, comment, all that stuff. But more importantly, if you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button, because all of that, liking and commenting on videos actually helps videos a lot on YouTube. It's part of the algorithm. So it's as simple as hitting a like. The thumbs up can actually do a lot for a show. But hit subscribe if you haven't. We'll be back with more videos soon. Again, if you have stuff, I think I'm probably going to do is go back. We did shorts for a while. We stopped doing them, but there are a couple shorts that I think I might grab.
Yeah, there's a few I really want to I want to
So
talk
we may
about.
pull some of those in to actually have discussions.
There's
but,
one in particular with the bridge that I really want to discuss. So
Okay. Well, I think we should. Is it the thing on the bottom of the bridge?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's so messed up.
so yeah,
So we be looking forward to some of that.
Yeah.
That's a little tease. Guys, thank you so much. We love all you guys. And remember, until next time we have you here on the show, always
keep it creepy.
keep it creepy.
This is kind of creepy. Goosebumps rising up my spine. This is kind of creepy. Chills and thrills. The night is mine.